Helicopter noise landing just outside the emergency department is something that always gets my blood going a little bit, because you know that this is ultimately why I'm here.
Had we not been trained enough, or had we not had that enough medical care or training among the boys, I think that guy wouldn't have survived last week.
The standard of care, I think, is second to none. It's amazing. To be part of that is pretty unique, pretty special experience.
You get to be there for that person in that 1 hour of need where they need you more than they need anything else in their life, and you get to be the person that does that.
I think if you don't feel in this job, then you shouldn't be doing the job. You have to separate it, don't get me wrong, there's times where you just have to switch off and go, no, this is work, but there's other times where if you don't feel, then don't do this job. Go home, go do something else.
The individuals who have deployed out here in the UK Med Group are of the highest standard in terms of their clinical skills. They have quite a prolonged pathway in terms of all the different training levels that they have to achieve to come out here. The majority are working within NHS hospitals. They are regular service personnel, full-time military personnel, but they are working within military wings of civilian hospitals. The patient pathway starts from the point of injury, and the first on the scene is a combat medical technician.
I was with the Gurkhas before. I've been here on Herrick 9 and Herrick 14 before as well. But I was an infantry, more rare than a medic. That was what I did. And this too has been totally different in terms of what I do, because I've transferred to be a medic now, and I'm trying to provide immediate first aid, provide that primary care, and that's it.
Speed is of the essence in trauma care, and the medical emergency response team take the patient back to the Royal 3 Hospital on the back of a helicopter as soon as possible.
There's always a risk. Sometimes you'll find out that the troops are still in contact, and of course you worry that there's going to be rounds sort of landing at your feet as well. But we have the Apache support, we've got the FP guys on the back, we've got the guns on the side of our aircraft, and we've got the ground call sign as well.
This is the first time I've done that, was on this tour, but it's good to see that you are helping somebody straight away. Whenever the MERT lot go out to land to pick up a casualty or anything like that, we'll push out and we'll provide the force protection so that paramedics can get off the cab and collect the patients properly, so the aircraft's secured whilst they're doing that.
The first point of entry for a trauma casualty into the hospital is ED, and that's where the teamwork and the focused clinical care really starts to move up a gear.
Do not mess up and do not faint. They're my two big things that I'm thinking when somebody comes in, and you just have to stay focused. Luckily the team just so calm and collected. It's like a machine, everything just slots together. Every procedure, everybody knows exactly what they're doing in the team. It's brilliant, it's like art. That's what it's like artwork.
I kind of told myself I didn't have a choice. I told myself that I'd been deployed and so that was my job and I had to go and do it. I think the reality is I was pushing for it. I'd made it clear that I wanted to get a deployment if at all possible. The sort of reputation this place has, you hear about it being the best trauma centre in the world, and I genuinely believe that it is. The care that's delivered here is as good as it gets in terms of trauma.
The use of blood products in resuscitation is another great step forward that this campaign has led to. We used to resuscitate trauma patients with normal saline, so salty water.
And that will increase the volume, but it doesn't do what blood does. It's not blood. Only blood can replace blood.
If the patient requires any blood, then we give them group specific to make sure they get the right treatment and the right blood.
We have blood out here from the UK donors. When we have a crisis or a huge trauma call and we don't have enough blood units left, those serving personnel on Bastion will come forward and they'll give their blood for somebody else who's been an injured soldier to have that blood. And it's just saved so many lives out here. And from seeing it 7 years ago in Iraq to how it's evolved to what it is now, it's unbelievable.
This hospital is closing. Bastion, one of the best trauma hospitals in the world for the past 10 years, is shutting, closing, gone.
We'll be remediating all the equipment, taking it back to the UK for other contingent operations, and obviously redeploying all the personnel which will be retasked onto other tasks.
I'm incredibly proud to be in command of the UK Medical Group in this, what is the final chapter. It is a huge privilege. I have an incredible team out here with me. We as a whole feel it's a real privilege to be here as part of what has been a very successful story in terms of the medical care provided to our individuals through this facility and across all of our different facilities in Afghanistan.
Morale's pretty high, so we laugh quite a lot. So although it is, obviously it's in a kind of combat area, morale's high, and yeah, the sound of people laughing and just general high spirit.
Working together, as a group of individuals, you gel as a team and you make friendships when you're on tour that last a long time.
You can't carry everything around with you. What happens out here with the patients, you can't carry that when you go home because the weight of it's just too heavy. You have to be able to put work to one side and carry on.
I like to think that what I can take away from it is the feeling that I've been doing a good thing.